The unthinkable just happened, and the internet has lost its mind. In a jaw-dropping statement that's sending shockwaves through both the NFL and the hip-hop world, Chicago Bears president Kevin Warren just compared his football team's rise to none other than Kendrick Lamar's career domination. That's right, Warren didn't hold back. During a surprise press conference, he boldly declared, "What Kendrick Lamar did to Drake is exactly what we're about to do to the NFL." Wait, what? Now fans, critics, and players alike are scrambling to make sense of what just went down. Was this a motivational analogy? A calculated PR stunt? Or is Kevin Warren dropping subtle shots at other NFL franchises the same way Kendrick did in his lyrical destruction of Drake? But here's where it gets even wilder. Sources close to the team claim this wasn't just a spontaneous comparison. This may be part of a larger cultural strategy within the Bears locker room, inspired by Kendrick's ruthless rise to the top. And you won't believe how far this comparison actually goes, from the locker room to the recording studio. Something huge is brewing in Chicago. To understand just how shocking Kevin Warren's Kendrick Lamar comparison really is, we need to rewind way back and look at both the Chicago Bears' turbulent legacy and Kendrick Lamar's path to unstoppable dominance. Because once you start putting the pieces together, it starts to feel intentional, like this wasn't a slip-up, like Warren meant every word. And now, the NFL and the entire hip-hop world is buzzing with one question. What does he know that we don't? Let's start with the Chicago Bears. One of the oldest franchises in the NFL. A team rich in history, drowning in pressure, and, let's be honest, crushed under decades of unmet expectations. From legendary players like Walter Payton to the Super Bowl shuffle era, the Bears once ruled with swagger and muscle. But in recent years, it's been nothing but disappointment, broken rosters, and a carousel of head coaches who couldn't seem to fix the mess. That's where Kevin Warren comes in. Hired as president and CEO in 2023, Warren wasn't just brought in to clean up the team. He was handed the keys to completely rebuild the Bears' identity. A respected executive with Big Ten and Vikings pedigree, he had the vision, the network, and, apparently, the audacity to compare his vision to one of the most iconic and deadly forces in modern music, Kendrick Lamar. And that brings us to the other half of this wild analogy, Kendrick Lamar. A Compton-born lyricist who went from underground prophet to mainstream menace. He didn't just succeed, he dismantled anyone in his way. He came for Drake, for Big Sean, for the industry's complacency. He didn't just top the charts, he reshaped the culture. With every bar, every visual, every movement, Kendrick proved he's playing chess while others play checkers. And when Not Like Us dropped in 2024, it wasn't just a diss track, it was a cultural execution. So now, imagine you're Kevin Warren. You've inherited a team that's been counted out, clowned on, and left for dead. The media laughs, rival fans mock, and your roster, filled with raw talent, including young stars who've had enough of losing. Now, imagine standing in front of them and saying, "Do you all see what Kendrick did to the game? That's us now. We're done playing nice." Insiders say that's exactly what's been happening behind the scenes. Sources from within the locker room have leaked that Warren's been using Kendrick Lamar's career as a blueprint for mental warfare. Posters of Kendrick's "Damn" and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers reportedly hang near the training facility entrance. And team meetings have included clips of Kendrick's interviews and performances used to motivate players. It's more than admiration, it's ideological alignment. The Bears aren't trying to be the next feel-good story. They're trying to dismantle the hierarchy of the NFL, just like Kendrick dismantled mainstream rap. And according to whispers from sources close to the front office, this strategy isn't just about hype. It's already producing results. But just when you think the Kendrick comparison was wild enough, just when people started debating whether it was bold or ridiculous, Kevin Warren dropped a quote that no one saw coming. At a recent closed-door team event, later leaked by an unnamed staffer, Warren stood before his players and allegedly said, "We're not the underdogs anymore." The same way Kendrick made. "Drake beg for air. We're about to make Mahomes, Rodgers, and every so-called dynasty do the same. This isn't just a comeback. This is a takeover." Wait, what? That's when everything changed. Players started posting cryptic tweets. Fans started speculating that something big was coming. And those close to the team insist, this isn't just talk. The locker room has been described as electrified. Rookie DBs walking around blasting the Hot Pot 5 in the weight room. The offensive coordinator playing DNA on loop before film sessions. Even the head coach has allegedly bought in, referring to the team's red zone plays as K-dot packages in private strategy meetings. What started as a strange metaphor is turning into a full-blown team-wide philosophy. And this brings us to the biggest question so far. Was Kevin Warren's Kendrick comparison a message or a warning? Because the next chapter? Oh, it's coming fast. And the first signs of this Bears Kendrick era might have already started leaking to the public. You won't believe where the first shots were fired. Let's set the scene. It's a crisp Friday night in downtown Chicago. The city is buzzing, not just from the start of football season, but from something way more electric. Rumors have been flying all week. The Bears are cooking something wild behind the scenes. And now, with just hours before their high-profile preseason matchup against the Chiefs, the world is about to witness a moment that will change everything. The Bears walk out of the tunnel, not to hype music, not to the team anthem, but to Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" blaring through Soldier Field. The crowd, stunned, the timing, diabolical. They were playing the defending Super Bowl champions, led by the golden child himself, Patrick Mahomes. And yet, here was Kevin Warren's team walking out to Kendrick's brutal diss track aimed at the so-called king of the game, as if to say, we don't care who's in front of us anymore. But that wasn't even the shocking part. Because standing on the sideline, cameras caught wide receiver Darnell Mooney flashing a white towel, one with bold red letters that read, "Big Steppers Only." Within seconds, the internet exploded. Big Steppers Only began trending worldwide. Twitter went ballistic. NFL commentators had no idea what was going on. Is this a new team slogan? A Kendrick homage? Is this even approved by the league? One analyst asked mid-broadcast. But it got worse, or better, depending on where you stood. After the first quarter, with the Bears up by 10 points, quarterback Caleb Williams was caught on mic, walking past the bench, smirking and saying, "We're not like them. We're not built like that. This ain't no love song. This is war." And then, he winked. Back in the booth, cameras cut to Kevin Warren, calm, collected, smiling. And then came the tweet. From the Bears' official team account, a post went live mid-game that simply read, "The league's been too comfortable. But just like Kendrick, we're here to remind y'all, it's not like us." Over 2 million views in 20 minutes. Bleacher Report reposted it. ESPN analysts were shook. The Bears weren't just referencing Kendrick Lamar, they were now weaponizing his lyrics and reputation as a mission statement. That's when people really started to panic. Because if this was a rebranding, it was the boldest the league had seen in years. But some insiders were saying this wasn't branding, it was battle strategy. Battle strategy. Leaked texts from an anonymous team scout showed conversations between Warren and his staff discussing culture war tactics inspired directly by Kendrick's media takedowns. One alleged message read, "We don't just want to win, we want to embarrass them. I want the whole league to feel like Drake did." That quote alone sparked outrage. Multiple NFL insiders called the comparison disrespectful. Former players said it was delusional, and current team owners allegedly reached out to league officials, questioning whether this new Bears identity was toxic to NFL culture. But guess who wasn't backing down? Kevin Warren. After the game, a Bears blowout win, Warren appeared on the post-game show with a look that said it all. Confident, calm, ready for war. When asked about the Kendrick connection, he leaned into the mic and said, They didn't take Kendrick seriously either, until he took the throne. Watch what happens next. Boom. Explosion. Social media collapsed in on itself. Fans began calling the team the Windy City Steppers. Edits went viral showing Kendrick performing while Bears defenders were knocking down quarterbacks. TikTokers started a new trend, lip-syncing Bears players' quotes over Kendrick tracks. But just as the hype was reaching its peak, the first crack in the story appeared. A private message was leaked from inside the Bears' locker room, and it changed everything. It was allegedly from a veteran defensive player. He wrote, "This whole Kendrick thing is going too far. We're football players, not rappers, and I don't like being used to sell some PR stunt. Wait, what?" Suddenly, fans and media had to ask, was this all a facade? A branding ploy pushed from the top down? Was Kevin Warren's Kendrick obsession creating tension inside the locker room? Sports journalists began digging deeper. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith slammed the comparison on live TV, saying, "Let me tell you something, Kevin Warren. You don't win football games by rapping lyrics in the mirror. This isn't the BET Awards. This is the NFL. But here's the thing, that veteran player? He mysteriously didn't suit up the following week. When questioned about it, head coach Matt Eberflus said only, 'We're moving with players who understand the mission.' And just like that, the Bears began shedding players who didn't align with the team's new direction. So now, the stakes are rising. This isn't just a team with a bold analogy. This is a franchise willing to cut ties, change identities, and rewrite culture, all based on the Kendrick Lamar blueprint of domination. And behind the scenes, there's talk that Kendrick himself might be watching. Because in the hours following the Bears' viral Kendrick-themed entrance, an anonymous Instagram burner account believed to be linked to Kendrick posted a single image, a bear, wearing headphones, captioned, "If you know, you know." Fans went feral. Was Kendrick endorsing the Bears' strategy? Was there collaboration in the works? Before anyone could figure it out, the post vanished. But the damage had already been done. This wasn't just a metaphor anymore. This was turning into a movement. One that wasn't just rattling the NFL, but drawing the eyes of the entire music industry. And if you think that's wild, you won't believe what the Bears did next, because the next move, it stunned the hip-hop world, pulled Kendrick's name into the spotlight again, and triggered a response from a rapper no one expected. Just when the internet thought the Bears' Kendrick Lamar stunt had peaked, just when fans were divided, ESPN analysts were ranting, and insiders were panicking, the Bears made a move that no one in sports or music was ready for. It started with a video, a cinematic, high-budget, black-and-white promotional video dropped on the team's social media. The caption, "We're not playing football, we're rewriting legacy." The video begins in dead silence. Gritty shots of Chicago, snow falling on Soldier Field. Then a voice starts speaking, calm, poetic, eerie. It's not a coach, it's not a player, it's Kendrick Lamar himself. Yes, Kendrick Lamar. In a voiceover that sent shockwaves across the internet, Kendrick is heard saying, "They laughed at us, counted us out, called us ghosts in the city of broad shoulders. But see, the ghosts came back, hungry, focused, violent. Cue the beat drop. Boom. The Heart Part 5 begins playing in the background. Clips flash, Caleb Williams throwing missiles, Bears defenders leveling quarterbacks, Kevin Warren watching from a dark office, alone, arms folded, nodding. The video ends with Kendrick's whisper, "It's not about fame, it's about vengeance." Cue logo. The Windy City rain, coming fall. The internet? Done. Social media? Obliterated. K-Doc's Bears trended instantly. Hip-hop blogs began dissecting the video like it was a new Kendrick album. Was this just a voiceover license? Was Kendrick involved in the team's rebrand? Did he write those lines himself? But then, DJ Academics leaked the real bomb. In a late-night live stream, Academics pulled up emails allegedly between Kendrick's manager and the Bears' executive office. And the subject line read, Kendrick's full involvement, Q4 brand rollout plan. Screenshots followed, contracts, collaboration breakdowns, mentions of live performances, even rumored theme song titles like Gridiron Ghosts and Step On 'Em. Academics shouted on stream, "Bro, this ain't a gimmick. This ain't no clip license. Kendrick Lamar is literally working with the Bears on their brand, image, and rollout strategy. This is insane." Within hours, TMZ confirmed it. Kendrick Lamar, the Pulitzer Prize-winning MC, had signed a multi-phase branding deal with the Chicago Bears. His job, to craft their public identity, to inspire their team philosophy, to create a culture of ruthless domination, modeled after his own rise in hip-hop. And that's when the reactions really got explosive. First came the backlash. Rapper Drake posted a cryptic story on Instagram, a picture of a football field, with the caption, "All this to still not win the chip." Fans instantly speculated this was a shot at Kendrick, and by extension, the Bears. Blogs exploded. Drake throwing shade at Kevin Warren's vision. Did Drake just diss an entire NFL franchise? But it didn't stop there. J. Cole, known for staying neutral, couldn't resist. He tweeted, "Hope they got some touchdowns to back up all this poetry." That tweet went viral in seconds. Some saw it as shade. Others said it was just good old Cole being playful. But in the midst of that tweet storm, Kendrick did something that broke the timeline. From his verified account, he posted a single sentence. "Legacy ain't always won in the playoffs. Sometimes it's won in silence." Then, boom. No mention of football, no hashtags, just chaos. The NFL world lost its mind. ESPN invited rap experts on air to decode it. Stephen A. Smith said, "I don't know if he's talking about Drake, the Chiefs, or the entire damn AFC, but that boy's serious." And just when you thought it was over, the Bears organization dropped another bombshell. Leaked documents revealed they were in talks to debut a new alternate jersey, a bold all-black Big Steppers edition set designed in collaboration. With Kendrick's creative team, sources describe the jersey as cultural armor, with small printed lyrics from Kendrick's songs sewn into the lining. Each player would wear a different lyric, a different bar, a different message. Here are a few that leaked. Caleb Williams, "I choose me, I'm sorry." Mooney, "The media is the new religion." Tremaine Edmonds, "I grieve different." The league, furious. Commissioners began whispering about brand violations. Other team owners started accusing the Bears of turning football into a hip-hop publicity machine. But Kevin Warren didn't flinch. He stepped in front of the mic during a press conference and stared down the room, then calmly said, "This isn't marketing. This is war." And Kendrick didn't make art to play it safe. He made it to burn down the system. "That's what we're doing too." The room fell dead silent. You could hear the world holding its breath. Because now, with the full weight of Kendrick's presence, the Bears weren't just an underdog team. They were a walking cultural powder keg, ready to detonate the NFL from the inside out. But wait, just before the press conference ended, a fan question changed everything. A young reporter stood and asked, "So, does this mean Kendrick Lamar will be performing at Soldier Field this season?" Kevin Warren smirked, paused, and said, "You'll find out week 5. That's it. That's all he said. Now fans are completely losing it. Is Kendrick performing live, at halftime, pre-game? Is this turning into a cultural revolution inside the NFL? And more importantly, what if the Bears win? What happens if this strategy actually works? Because if the Kendrick method leads this team to the playoffs, or even further, we're not just witnessing a sports comeback, we're witnessing a paradigm shift. But trust me, it's about to get even messier, because you won't believe what other NFL teams are starting to do in response. It didn't take long. Once Kendrick's voice echoed through Soldier Field and Kevin Warren's face hit every major sports show, the ripple effect turned into a cultural earthquake. The public reaction, complete and total frenzy. Across Chicago, murals of Kendrick Lamar, and Bears players side by side started popping up overnight. One wall near Halsted Street showed Kendrick in a crown of thorns holding a football while standing behind Caleb Williams. A messianic glow cast behind both of them. Another had DNA, spray-painted under a roaring bear head with glowing red eyes. TikTokers began stitching old Kendrick interviews with Bears highlights, labeling the clips, the K-Dot blueprint in action. And these weren't small videos. These were getting millions of views in hours. Teenagers, sports fans, hip-hop heads. Everyone was talking about it. Bro, I ain't even liked football before this, but if Kendrick's behind them, I'm all in. Bears might really be the Kendrick of the league. Underrated, underestimated, but deadly when it counts. Drake somewhere punching the air right now. And then came the fake leaks. Fans posing as insiders, dropping made-up reports claiming Kendrick was secretly coaching players on psychological warfare, that he created a film room playlist mixing game tape with his music, or that he called Patrick Mahomes a commercial quarterback. These weren't true, but people believed them anyway. The mythology was too good. But as fans rallied behind the Bears' transformation into hip-hop's football team, the NFL's reaction was less enthusiastic. According to reports from insiders, at the league office, owners were furious at Kevin Warren's growing media dominance. Several believed the Kendrick branding was becoming a distraction. Worse, a threat to traditional team marketing structures. An anonymous AFC team executive told reporters, "This is dangerous. The Bears are basically letting a rapper rewrite how teams present themselves. What happens when it backfires? Or worse, when everyone starts copying it?" And guess what? That was already happening. Within days of the Bears' Kendrick rollout, other teams began making suspiciously similar moves. The Atlanta Falcons posted a training video set to a sped-up version of Future's March Madness. The New York Jets shared behind-the-scenes footage of Aaron Rodgers quoting Jay-Z during practice. Even the Las Vegas Raiders changed their bio to "No smoke, just fire," a phrase eerily close to Kendrick's "We don't do smoke, we light flames." And the biggest imitator, the Los Angeles Rams. In a direct slap to Chicago, the Rams released an ad campaign titled "The Crown Belongs Here." It featured slow-motion footage of players walking through Inglewood, dramatic violins in the background, and what sounded like a Lamar-style voiceover. But fans weren't having it. Copycats. Y'all can't out-Kendrick the Bears. This ain't it. Even worse, a mysterious Kendrick burner account. Yes, him again. Posted a laughing emoji under the Rams campaign. Just one. That was enough. Now other teams were scared to move, because anything they did would now be compared to the Bears' cultural bomb. But even as the public kept cheering and social media glorified the Bears as cultural trailblazers, not everyone inside the sports world was impressed. Former NFL player Shannon Sharpe lit up his podcast. "Man, I like Kendrick, great rapper, genius even. But this ain't hip-hop. This is grown men getting hit at 21 mahas. If the Bears lose 2 games in a row, all that poetry goes out the window." Colin Cowherd took it further. "This is embarrassing. The NFL isn't a mixtape, and Kevin Warren isn't Quincy Jones. Enough already." But perhaps the most savage reaction came from an unexpected source. Former Bears legend Brian Urlacher. He went live on Instagram, sitting in his garage gym, shaking his head. "We didn't need a rapper to get motivated. We just hit people. That was enough." Then he turned to the camera and said, "Hope the Kendrick vibes help them tackle better." Ouch. The backlash was growing, but so was the defense. In response, former players like Martellus Bennett jumped in, tweeting, "You're mad the Bears finally got culture." Meanwhile, teams been co-opting black culture for years without ever giving back. This ain't just football. This is ownership of identity. And fans, they stayed ruthless. Urlacher ain't even got bars. Sit down, Gramps. Let the steppers cook. We'd rather lose with Kendrick than win with corny team-first speeches. But behind all the memes, jokes, and hashtags, one question started echoing through every sports talk show, every podcast, every tweet. What happens if they actually start winning? Because if the Bears turn this into a winning season, if Kendrick's influence becomes more than symbolism, If Soldier Field becomes the new mecca of sports meets culture, then the entire NFL might never be the same. And just when everyone thought it couldn't go any further, a leaked email from an undisclosed source revealed something so shocking, so wildly unexpected, that even the most die-hard Kendrick fans were left speechless. Because the Bears' next cultural move isn't just a music collab, it's something way, way bigger. Something that might bring Kendrick Lamar to the field, literally. Just when we thought the Bears-Kendrick saga couldn't possibly top itself, when fans were still catching their breath from viral videos, halftime speculation, and league-wide imitation, everything changed. Because deep within a leaked internal email chain from the Bears marketing division, a thread mysteriously forwarded to media outlets with the subject line, K.Live, Stage 1 Draft Plan, came a revelation so outrageous, so game-breaking, that fans are now convinced we're no longer watching football, we're watching history unfold. According to the leak, the Bears and Kendrick Lamar are not stopping at voiceovers, promos, or fashion collabs. Oh no, they're allegedly planning to sign Kendrick Lamar to the team. Wait, what? You read that? Right. The email discussed a plan labeled K. Roster Activation, Phase 3, which outlined a staged, symbolic practice squad contract to be offered to Kendrick as an honorary, non-playing cultural member of the team, a contract that would legally make Kendrick Lamar a Chicago Bear. Insiders say the plan includes a limited edition Kendrick No. 5 Bears jersey, referencing the Heart Part 5, a debut during Week 5, with Kendrick suiting up and walking out of the tunnel with the Team Kendrick standing for the national anthem alongside the starting lineup, a midfield spoken word intro before kickoff titled The Audacity of Grit, and the wildest part, Kevin Warren allegedly approved it. According to the leaked documents, Warren's signature appears at the bottom of the activation proposal next to a bold phrase, "We don't just break the system, we become the system." Now hold on, is this even legal? Can a rapper join an NFL team in any capacity? What is this even turning into? Sports legal analysts rush to clarify, a symbolic practice squad contract could technically be structured to bypass playing eligibility, functioning as a marketing and morale tool rather than a competitive roster move. So yes, it's real. And yes, it might actually happen. But it gets even crazier. An anonymous Bears staffer, speaking under the alias Walter49, posted a cryptic message on Reddit just hours after the email leak. The post, now deleted, read, "Y'all ain't ready for Week 5. This ain't a rollout, it's a reckoning. A reckoning? What could that mean? Now theories are flying. Is Kendrick preparing to drop a new album during halftime at Soldier Field? Will the game feature a live diss aimed at teams like the Rams, Chiefs, or even Drake himself? Could the Bears be working on the first hip-hop halftime residency in NFL history? And wait for it, another unconfirmed report says the Bears are planning to remix their stadium intros to include unreleased Kendrick bars, custom-made for each opponent. Imagine walking into Soldier Field as an opposing team and hearing a Kendrick verse, calling you out by name, by position, by failure. Number 23 couldn't cover me on Sundays or Spotify. We hit harder than your highlight reels. This ain't your city. This is Lamar's field. If this is true, this isn't just strategy. It's psychological warfare. But the most haunting twist, a fan captured a low-quality photo from inside a private Bears training session. In the corner of the practice field, partially hidden in the shadows, stood a figure in all black, watching silently. Long dreadlocks, hood up, hands behind back, not moving. Caption: Kendrick. The photo has now gone viral. Debates rage, whether it's real or staged. But the fear has set in across the league, because if Kendrick Lamar is now physically showing up at practices, if he's about to walk with the players, not just speak for them, then the Bears are no longer just a football team. They're a cultural revolution wearing shoulder pads. And if all of this is leading up to Week 5, then the NFL the fans, the world, better brace for something they've never seen before. Because the next headline won't be Kendrick partners with Bears. It might just be Kendrick Lamar activated. And that changes everything. Whew. If your jaw's still on the floor, you're not alone. What we're witnessing isn't just football, it's not just music, it's not even branding anymore. This is a full-scale cultural shockwave, and it's rewriting every rule in the game. Kevin Warren didn't just compare the Chicago Bears to Kendrick Lamar for attention. He may have just rebuilt the franchise around Kendrick's exact playbook. Domination, disruption, and unapologetic power. And now, we're less than 5 weeks away from the moment that could change the NFL and maybe pop culture forever. So here's the real question for you, watching right now. Do you think Kevin Warren is a visionary genius, or just out of his mind? Is this Kendrick Lamar partnership the greatest branding move in sports history, or a disaster waiting to happen? And most importantly, will this actually help the Bears win? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from real fans, hip-hop heads, football lovers, and conspiracy theorists, all of you. No opinion is too wild for this story, and if you want to be the first to catch what happens at Soldier Field in Week 5, including if Kendrick actually suits up, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications right now, because this story, it's only getting bigger, louder, and crazier. And trust me, the next twist will break the internet. This is your official warning. The Bears aren't playing, and neither is Kendrick. Stay tuned, stay ready, stay loud. See you in the next one. It's going to be unforgettable.